What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. A shorter episode today, just the 16 or so minutes long. Reason being, I did lots of stuff. I thought today was going to be me winning the daily knockout tournament and doing some other club maintenance and things. But it took me 2 attempts to win a daily knockout tournament because I'm very bad at FIFA. The screen shows the team that I used. I switched Dendonka and Jonas in game, just did that for chemistry reasons. These sort of teams, I want to have fun with the game now. You know, there's so many team of the season players out, so much going on. I want to have fun with teams, but I'm caught in this whirlwind of not knowing what to do. We'll get to that in a second. But first of all, dudes, if we could drop a thumbs up, it would be appreciated. A couple episodes back, I asked if you guys could smash 5,000 likes. You did not smash 5,000 likes. I think you smashed 7,000 likes. Man, on a Road to Glory channel, on a channel where, I don't know, man, I feel like I found myself again, man. I found love for the game through this channel this year. You know, last year the game was hard. It wasn't enjoyable for a lot of the periods of time. There was a lot of things going on in my personal life, a lot of things going on with YouTube that were difficult. And, you know, I came onto this channel and I feel a connection with this channel. I've spoken about it a few times before. I feel a connection with the viewers of this channel that I just don't get from my main channel. And it's sad. And I think one of the biggest issues is because the main channel is so big, it gets so many views, it gets so many comments, that it's hard to separate the good from the irrelevant. And I say irrelevant because there's just so much spam, so many memes in the comment section, so many people just trying to look for attention, so much negativity. It's really hard to find what's there. And a lot of the YouTubers that I speak to on a day-to-day basis don't even read their comment sections anymore. And that's no detriment to them because I understand it. But yeah, this channel, there's been a few, we've hit a few bumps along the road as expected, right? Like, I'm not going to do everything that pleases everyone all the time. We've had a few issues with titles, with thumbnails, with content, with the way I produce the content, with the things I talk about within the videos. But generally speaking, I feel like a genuine, deep sense of community in this channel, and it's amazing. I really look forward to reading the comments every day when I make the videos. And I just wanted to thank you guys for that sort of help. The first comment is actually a comment that I'm not going to read. But I'm going to say to Caleb Somerville, first of all, he says, "Hey Nep, sorry, this is going to be a rather long comment, but I hope you acknowledge it." This is me acknowledging it, dude. I appreciate the words. I hope things go well for you, and good luck in your endeavors, bro. But thank you for the comment. So Harry Martin says, "Hey Nep, in your live streams, you always talk about players being unable to trap a ball. My question is, what does trapping a ball mean? Love the series and keep up the good work." Okay, so if you're on the halfway line and I'm the goalkeeper and we're just in a field having fun and I punt the ball up to you or kick the ball up to you and it goes up in the air, as it comes down, you trap the ball. So you stop the ball dead. And in FIFA terms, trapping the ball is like when I pass a ball into my player and I'm not doing anything, I want them to trap the ball. I want them to like stop and control the ball in an instant. In clean gameplay, when the game is playing as it should, players with high ball control and just generally knowing how the game works will aid you in just trapping the ball and then being able to do what you want to do. For example, you know, if I fire a low-driven pass into my attacker, say it's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I know he's got 4-star skill moves, so what I'd do is I would let go of sprint, I'd hold on to left trigger, help him trap the ball, and then maybe do a scoop turn or a fake shot around and go. The problem is when the gameplay is bad is that even that extra quarter or half of a second that is causing you the issue, when you fire the ball in, you might, because of the delay in gameplay, and it's minute, right? And like honestly, it only affects like the higher level players that do the intricate skills and stuff. And I'm not saying it doesn't affect the lower players, but this is one of the things that causes the skill gap to be lower. And I'll explain both sides in a second, but let me explain the side from a top tier player. And I'm not saying that's me, but I'm just saying from a top tier player. So a top tier player would fire in a driven past their attacker, they'd let go of sprint, they'd hold on to the shielding button, which obviously would also allow them to do the scoop turn, they'd do the scoop turn and they'd be away. In bad, heavy gameplay, what happens is you fire that pass button and you have, like, although you've let go of the sprint button and held on to the left trigger button, for example, because the gameplay is heavy, the players on what you're seeing on the screen isn't what the game is understanding. So when the ball comes into the player, it hits them and maybe it bounces off them a little bit, or maybe they like step a foot out and lunge forward to get the ball, so they don't bring the ball in cleanly, and it causes your next action to not be what it should be when the gameplay is what it normally would be. So the best way to explain that is literally through the control and the scoop turn. You know, if 9 times out of 10 you drive a pass into that Ibra, you let go of sprint, you hold on to left trigger, you do a scoop turn, and you're away. And then all of a sudden, on this one occasion or 2 occasions, or over the course of a whole game now, every time you fire the ball into Ibra, he lunges for the ball, or he doesn't actually control it, and it kind of hits him and bobbles off a yard, so he has to like regather the ball. This is like when the top end players play a certain way, a lot of it is muscle memory. A lot of it is literally because they just do it because they're just used to doing it. They don't think about it. They're on autopilot. So when something changes with no good reason and starts doing something that is not normal, it really hampers the way they play, and it allows the person that maybe not as good as them to be able to get chances and options within the game that aren't normally available to them. You know, for example, you see people like Gorilla and TOTS, they lose your game here or there. Sometimes they lose because they get outplayed or because they made an error, but sometimes they lose because the gameplay is so heavy, so bad. And I think Inception discusses this the best, and talks about this the best. He understands the intricacies better than most, I would go as far as saying. Inception, you know, on a normal occasion, Inception would beat said player 9 times out of 10. But in this one game where the game is heavy, the reason why it favours the person that's not as good is because they're not used to these intricacies. They're not used to, you know, the button combinations and the kind of animation combinations that result in certain things happening that make the best players better. So when the best players or the good players don't have these available in their repertoire of things to do, it's like they're playing a new game. They have to completely adapt the way they played the game. And that just heavily favours somebody who's bad at the game. This is something. That's not to say that they will definitely lose this game. You know, they might be able to adapt quick enough, or their skill might still prevail to the point where they win the game. But so many people that like lose games to lesser opponents, and I'm not, you know, I've beaten people that are better than me, very much potentially because of the fact that maybe the person I was playing against had, you know, heavy bad gameplay. But it makes an impact, it makes a difference. And I think this is one of the things that people think is like scripting and handicap and momentum. I think a lot of it is due to connectivity issues. It really is. Not last weekend league, but the weekend league before, maybe the one before that actually, when I got 26 wins. I was hating the game, man. My players just, every single time I passed the ball, they would lunge for it, or it would go a different direction, or it would hit them and bounce off. And it just wasn't working. And I don't have the skill to implement a completely new game style in a game immediately. You know, I've got a very specific way of playing. How I play is very offensive based. I'm bad defensively, so I try and rely on my attack. So when the game is hampering my attack, I am screwed. Like, I literally am screwed. There's not a lot I can do because I'm not good enough. I'm personally not good enough to change and adapt. And that's why I get so angry at this game. Not the opponents, at the game. I get angry at EA and I get angry at the game because there's nothing that... there's no way you can prove that that game was heavy or that gameplay was bad, you know, anything like that. But it's just the feel that you get. And like I say, the reason why I get upset at the game and why I get angry at the game is because most of the time the game plays fine for me. I know a lot of people have a lot of gameplay issues, but me personally, most of the time it's fine. So in those games where it's not fine, I'm personally not good enough to adapt and change my playstyle to still beat an opponent. Whether, like, you know, it might even be a case, not a case where I'm playing against someone bad. It might be a case where I'm playing someone on the same level as me, and I might have had a good chance of beating them if the gameplay was good, but if the gameplay is bad, I've got no chance because I'm not good enough to adapt to a playstyle, and maybe they are. So that's what trapping essentially is, and that's why for me it's important, and it's important to talk about this. It's important to talk about the connectivity issues within the game, because I think they're part of the biggest issue of everybody's complaints. So yeah, I hope EA do something next year for the connection issues. Octavio Jimenez says, "Hey Nep, I know this isn't FIFA related, but KSI is back with a song. What are your opinions on this?" It's awesome. I've known JJ for many years now, and I've listened to a lot of his music, and a lot of it has been very questionable at best. But what I think is awesome is it's awesome to see that he's actually taken time to learn this craft. He's clearly gone and got help and advice and practiced and worked hard at what he's doing. And I think the song is actually brilliant. I would not be surprised to see it in like the UK top 40. It is very good. It's very catchy. It's got a good beat. It sends a really positive message, and I think it talks a lot about, you know, like the understanding of him saying that he's a creature. I think for my interpretation of that is that the fans, his fan base, were treating him like a robot, like a creature, like something they control and something they own. And this is his way of saying, I'm in control. I will do what I want to do. And I really like the message that he sends, or at least my interpretation of the message that he sent in the song. I stand up for what he says, you know, that although he is where he is because of his fans, and I am where I am because of, you know, you guys, my viewers and stuff, we're not robots, and we're not there to be controlled or treated like animals or treated like creatures. But as I say, that was what I took out of the song. But I was honestly really impressed, and also the production quality of the video and the music video itself was fantastic. It was very, very good. I was really impressed. I was really impressed. Nitrous Gaming says, Nepo, do a house tour. I really do want to do a house tour, but I don't like to feel posy, and like I understand that I've come from a position of underprivileged. I've lived underprivileged in my life. I've had nothing. I've had everything. I've gone through the lowest lows emotionally and financially, and the highest highs emotionally and financially. And the position that I'm in now, I feel like would be like to do a house tour because of what I've got and what I have. I feel like would almost be like a kick in the teeth to some people who work harder than me and have less and want more. You know, like I don't ever want to sit there and like feel like I'm rubbing it in the faces of the people who are struggling on a day-to-day life by showing off what I have. That's not what I'm about. I've said this in videos before. I don't have a flashy car. I don't wear lots of jewelry or designer clothes. And a lot of YouTubers don't, but a lot of YouTubers do. A lot of YouTubers really flaunt the money that they earn and the things that they have. That's not me, because I've been in a situation where I've had nothing, and I've seen people that have a lot flaunt in the face of people that have nothing, and it's just not a nice thing. It's not a nice feeling. Not only because, you know, obviously a lot of people don't have aspirations, but I have aspirations to be better and to always want more. I always want to grow, I always want to gain, I always want to learn, and I always want to make sure that I've got everything in my power achieved so that my family is going to be secure in the future. And I've had the situation where I've not been in that position, and somebody else who has been in that position just goes around acting Billy Big Bollocks, and it just makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel shit. So although a house tour wouldn't necessarily be me acting the big shot or anything, I don't ever want to put you guys in a position where you feel worthless or worth less than me because of the things I have rather than the person I am. Because I think who you are as a person and what you do as a person is far, far more important than what you have in life and the valuables that you end up collecting over time. I don't think they're worth as much as who you are and what you can offer someone as a human being. And I know you might sit there, some people will be sitting there saying, that's rich coming from you, considering February 16th this year you got criminally convicted on 2 counts, and that is the truth. You know, I by all stretch of the imagination, I am a criminal. I'm a convicted criminal with two convictions to my name. So it might seem very rich, me trying to give advice by saying that the person you are is more important when I'm not a man of good character because of what's gone on for me with my legal problems. But I still feel that that's the truth. I feel like in my heart of hearts, that's where the issue is and what the truth is. So that's why I did want to do a house tour when I first moved into this house. I don't think I'm going to do it. I just don't think I'm going to do it. You might see like bits and bobs of my house here and there through videos over time. You know, obviously you see my office, the room next door there. Eventually this wall is going to be knocked out and this whole floor is going to be my office. It's going to be a lot more of a luxurious kind of like, you know, nice sofa area, nice lounge area, proper like office desk, and then gaming setup and streaming setup. So then I'll do an office tour, sure, no problem. And you might just see, like, you know, you see my gym downstairs in the garage, you guys see pictures and stuff of that. But generally speaking, you don't really get to see much of my personal life because it's just, well, like I don't think it's fair putting my daughter on camera until she can decide if she wants to be on camera or not. And my girlfriend doesn't enjoy it, so it really limits my my opportunities of showing my life personally. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Now, I actually had some other stuff to talk about, but I went down a rabbit hole that I didn't expect to go down there. Jesus Trujano says, "Oh my God, Net would make an amazing school counsellor." Interestingly, one of the things that I've always envisioned myself doing over time, maybe like long into the future, is motivational speaking or just speaking at venues. I feel like I would love to do that. I feel like I have a lot to offer in that area. Not necessarily a school counsellor per se, but you know, I've spent a long time like helping a lot of people in my life, like my brother and my family and people at work and stuff. And I feel like I have a good knack for talking. So I would definitely love to do some kind of motivational speaking or some kind of like speaking sessions, which essentially is what a lot of these videos are, is just me talking. Anyway guys, we won the tournament. It took us 2 tries. I tried a couple of random teams. I didn't have fun with them. We'll talk about that now in the next episode. My team of the season reward wasn't a walkout. Not only was it not a walkout, it was the 2nd worst player that you can get. It was Dunk, and he sold for about 27,000 coins. Sure, 27k, nice, money in the bank, can't complain about that, but what could have been was so much more. This, though, dudes, is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.